Objection!
All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Yeah. Put the
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you recalled, Ms. Scar?
Yes, Your Honor. Do you remember, like, well, this was like 2 months ago by now, but do you remember, fucking the very first time you examined the blue badger and was like, this thing looks familiar, but I can't place it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First the knife mix-up, and now the blue fucking badger. This should be interesting.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
What kind of shit were you smoking?
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
Oop, that's a typo. That wouldn't mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop, please! Don't pursue this any further!
Oh, you've got emotion in your voice, Lana.
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this! I've already confessed to the crime! Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter, to the end of this Let's Play. Emma's recollection. I saw a man raise his knife. Boop. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark?
Yes, at least I think it was him.
Or else it was Damon Gant. You think?
All I can really see were shadows.
The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports. So then you...
Emma's gonna take on 2 grown-ass men.
Yeah, she is. Why would you do something so reckless, so foolish, so dangerous?
The bloodlust overcame all.
That's why you have rose-tinted glasses.
What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. When the dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was I've got to help that other person.
What do you mean you think?
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly, but I did. It's all kind of a blur.
Miss Sky was almost killed before she was witness to a murder that was about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife. Get the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. Chicken noodle soup. So then, what happened next?
Are you sure about this?
Of course! See? I even drew a picture of him here!
I think Lana knows what this is, but Emma might not.
I don't even know if Lana knows what this is.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The Blue Badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother. Justin, you thought that thing had caused enough trouble.
Tell us, where in this room did you see her dancing?
The shadow? Seeming you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all?
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger, really?
You might have an idea.
Maybe?
Mayhaps.
Maybe?
It's the blue badger!
It's just straight up the blue badger. Okay. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture, yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on this fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright!
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look-alike.
Son of a bitch. I'm so upset.
I knew you would be! I knew you would be!
That's really good, though, that's how they wanted that to be done.
Yep.
The mysterious blue badger was, in fact, this.
But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of shitty, overpriced jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger!
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint with the new Nintendo DS?
I've heard about that!
Our viewpoint?
You gotta show them the correct angle to look at this from.
Better get it fucking right. The more failures you have, the longer we have to listen to the Blue Badger music.
Does it have to be like this, or...?
It has to look like the silhouette of the Blue Badger's head. It is a very specific angle. Like, you won't get penalized for getting it wrong, but you have to get it right.
Shit. Okay.
If you take too many attempts, I'll show you the picture.
That isn't right. I gotta make this look more like the badger.
Allow me to remind the defense its case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew, we cannot accept his claim.
I've got to find just the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more, or horizontally?
Come on, Mr. Wright, you can do it! You just have to use the touchscreen on the Nintendo DS system to rotate the thing.
I've heard about those.
We're both stupid. We're both dumb. Don't you love the Blue Badger music, Nick?
I hate
Don't
this so
you
much.
love it?
Everything about
Are
this.
you happy that you get to hear more of your favorite song in this game?
Is this kind of more it? I think. Oh, wait. Shit. Shit. No, I have to... How do I make it go back to normal?
just like to take this moment to thank everyone for watching this incredibly long LP. Angel and DS, y'all are the real MVPs. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Sitting through even this mess.
Did I already try it like this?
You tried it pretty close to that.
Fuck!
Let me pull up the picture.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have a goddamn stroke. I mean, I don't think I took damage for it.
No, you didn't. You can do it forever.
No.
You're trapped in this hell.
I don't like it!
You're trapped
Get
until
me
you
out
get
of here!
You have to get it. This is what it needs to look like. Well, you took off your glasses. No wonder you're struggling.
Fuck you! Brennan, no. No, that's exactly how I did it!
There you
What
go.
the fuck? That's
Like I said, it is an extremely specific angle.
well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the fucking Blue Badger.
I can.
He's the Blue Badger, and he sees all of your sins. I don't know how I did it the first time. I feel like it was a lot better.
It was.
No, it can't be! Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one
Fuck you.
question remains.
That's not funny. We're gonna talk about this when we get home.
What's your point?
What do you mean?
So that Badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
Miles, how did that jar get in the air? I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar?
The murderer?
Is it?
Murder weapon?
Is it?
The location?
Is it?
No, it's that there's a whole nother person in the room now.
Why do you think that?
Because someone had to throw the jar.
Emma pushed a guy, and presumably if this jar fell, then that means that the jar got knocked over by the impact of being pushed.
Oh.
So there's not an extra person there. Think about where this jar was located, perhaps. Because that's over by that... Do you remember where that armor was?
It was on the right side of the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Do you remember where the murder took place, allegedly?
Yeah. Well,
Actually, I
take some
think,
turn.
according to the walkthrough, every single one of those is the correct answer.
Nice. It does change everything, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, well, knowing this, where could she have seen the jar?
I don't know why your tone there is killing me.
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found lying next to near
Near Lana
the body was
Skystets?
found near. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
The witness testified so herself.
Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. Are you excited? You excited, Edgy? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Edge
Press
of
the
your
button.
seat? You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yeah.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there must have been a reason. A motive,
Do
perhaps.
you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? Son of a bitch!
A suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
You said it was a red herring! You were convinced! They got you! They fucking got you
They got the
good!
shit out of me. I remember, too. I remember being like, wait a minute, there's no way that's not the murder weapon. I remember I flip-flopped on it. That's right.
I know! They got you to flip-flop exactly when they wanted you to. When they had that broken knife, you're like, oh, well, that's fucking murder weapon. Oh, shit!
Fucking... God damn.
This is a good trial. Long as fuck, but it's good.
So wait. Emma accidentally killed him?
I mean, you have a piece of, like, leather-looking cloth with her fingerprint.
Yeah.
As though it was made by a very hard impact.
Yeah.
Maybe continue the game.
And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
I'm gonna stab you to death with this fucking trophy.
Fuck you!
No, Mr. Wright, you
Yeah.
can't be thinking.
Yes. There's another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nonetheless... I don't know if I can get through this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Jesus. That was brutal.
You mean...
You've killed a man, Emma. There's no getting around it.
Mr. Marshall died because of me?
Not on purpose. It was just a side effect of being near you.
Jesus fuck! No!
Oh, come on, Luke. It's not that bad.
That's impossible!
Did she make a Star Wars quote before she passed out? What a fucking nerd! Fucking weeb.
I love that really old movie. It's called Star Wars.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So, it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented!
Damon is still the bad guy.
What? What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall! How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Crime the pin! Ah!
Imagine that coming from you.
Oh, come on, Edgy, don't be heartless.
If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
Wait a minute, I have a friend who can talk to the dead. Well, we certainly
Dude,
can't
that would
get
have been
dead people to
awesome if they
testify.
figured this out, except that sometimes dead people can be wrong too.
Yeah. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning, like that game, Untitled Goose Game.
Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one manner or another.
That's impossible.
No, it's not. He was stabbed in the lung. People lived through that shit.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I gotta think back to the court record. The real murderer's name and victim may have been left behind. I mean, it's obviously in the evidence.
Yeah.